I'ma change this. I'ma change it.
Then that's not what you're gonna do. Then what you gonna do? You're gonna go out there and you're gonna do something stupid? Cause you know that's not what mommy and daddy worked hard for all these years. What you trying to prove? You missed a big shot? Risking your life cause we need some money, Daddy?
Yeah, we live in Red Hook Housing Project in Brooklyn. In Brooklyn. All we got is the streets.
Yurt.
What up? This Silka. And if you from Brooklyn, New York, and you not watching the Saint Lies channel on YouTube, IG, Facebook, Twitter, whatever platform you on, you slipping. Your skirt is showing. Go ahead and get with the program.
LAZ, man, shout out to Insource TV for blessing us with this exclusive interview with legendary Low Life Hars Low. You heard Brooklyn in the building, Comment Gang in the building. Shout out to the bro FOZ. Z-Man Suicide Polo with the ski man running around the hood like He-Man. Check this exclusive. The name of this interview is Super Trife Low Lives. Learn something.
A low life is basically about money, hoes, and clothes. That had nothing to do with drug dealing, but that came along after the effect, after a long time of us doing what we was doing, stealing clothes. Some of us branched off into that area of selling drugs, but it was all about money, hoes, and clothes. That's what was the nature of a low life. Basically getting fly, stealing the newest name brand products, items. We called them ITs back in the day. You had the Guest Crew, you had the Fila Posse, you had FAP, which is Franklin Avenue Posse. Who else you had? Can't really say the Decepticons because they wasn't really about getting like money like that. They was really about other stuff. But besides that, you had some influential crews that was like us, but they didn't match our tenacity when it came to dressing and bringing out the new items that was in department stores. Basically, the low-life, the temperature between low-life and Decepticon, it was really no beef because some of us knew each other. The ones that was really in the street knew the Decepticons. The ones that wasn't was the ones that was getting robbed by them. So the thing was, basically, if you was a low life and you wasn't a trife, because it's two different low lives. You got the regular low life and then you got the super trife low life. The super trife low life is the one that was really in the street. The regular low life is just the one that just appeared for going on meows and all that. Those are the ones that the Decepticons and other people on the street that had their own crews robbed them, like Prospect Troopers, Albany and Fillmore. That's just to mention a few, but that's what it was. It wasn't no real beef because when Decepticons seen a super trife low life, they didn't mess with us because they knew us. Like they knew, oh nah, son get down for his crown. You ain't taking nothing from him. But if you was just a regular low life, then some way, somehow, if you had a Polo USA Goose on, they would take that. If you had anything that was looking like something, they would. So that's basically like the overall stipulation of the beef. So a regular low life, if he was hanging out with a super trife low life, then I wouldn't have beef with a Decepticon, but I would have to stick up for this regular low-life dude. They created a task force because when we was hitting Manhattan, like, we used to go out there maybe 30 deep, and then it would be other people from different boroughs. Well, I'm not going to say, you can say different boroughs, but I'm going to say different sections of Brooklyn, New York. Like, and we would all meet up, and it was like something like major. Oh, we going to run up in this leather store. Instead of boosting, we started steaming. Like, we started just running in and out. Grab what you could grab, and you would run out with it. Whoever got caught, you know? So when we started doing that, and we wasn't casual boosting, it was basically because somebody would already have a spot lined up. Like, somebody would be out in Manhattan in the daytime. They would find a leather stuffed spot that sold shelling, mink coats and stuff like that. High valuable fashion and stuff. So they would let us know, like, yo, I just found this spot. It's on 34th, or it's on 42nd, or it's on 72nd. Yo, we ain't going in there boosting. We just going in there and we grabbing and we running out. So we would all go up there, and that's what it was. That's what we did. So they formulated a police task just for that. It wasn't just for regular boosting. It got so nasty to the point where, like, we were like literally closing down stores, department stores, like Bjorkman. We would run up in there because we had a little connect with the security guards and the DTs in Bjorkman, which was down from Macy's on 34th. Those used to be the two largest department stores on 34th. So we used to hit Bjorkman on the regular because we used to get phone calls from like the security or the D's. They would tell us, oh, they're in the store today. Y'all can go in there and do what y'all want. So we would gather up the crew, get on the train, and we would steam them. Like, whatever new garments was out, whether it was polo, chaps made by Ralph Lauren, or it was Eyes On, whatever you felt that you liked it, you ain't have to just steal polo. Like, you grab whatever you liked it. So when we went in there, some of us already knew which section we was going to. And we would grab what we want. We would take whole racks, and we would run out the store. And the cops got tired of that, so they came up with a task force just to stop that, to, you know, impede that progress of what we was doing. What started me, like, to hit the street and do what I do, like, when I first came out the crib, I had to fight every day. I'm originally from Red Hook, so when I did move to Crown Heights, the people that I grew up with on my block, they wasn't with, like, going to other block projects and all that, because they was like, it was simple kids. Me, I was the type that liked to explore. So I did different blocks. I would have fights with the well-known person that's supposed to be the person on this block or this project. I would put the beats on them, and they would respect me after that. But what really led me into the street was basically like my brother 50. 50 knew, like, before it was Ralphie Kids, it was International Boosters. So my brother used to throw these parties on St. Mark. They used to come to these parties that my brother used to throw on St. Mark, Department 3E. They was called International Boosters at the time. So I'm going to name a few of them. You had Sharif, Boosting, Cav, you know, them type of dudes. These are the first boosters that I knew of. My brother knew all of them. So Sharif, Boosting, Cav, and all of them, they used to pull up on my brother. They used to come to the crib. I was a little dude. So during that time, you know, I used to see the gear, the garment. My mom used to always buy me like Pumas, stuff like that, Adidas, and little suits like that. But the things that I saw them wearing were more expensive. And I seen how the females and like certain people galvanized to them because of what they was wearing. So it like intrigued me when I was little. So one day my brother had a party and G. George, Hank, Ralph, who else came? It was a few of the lowlives, Boosting, Bill. You know, before they was lowlives, like I said, they was international boosters. But they all knew my brother. So went to school with them. So they pulled up at my brother's party. And Boosting Bill, I think at that time I had to be 11 or 12. I'm the only kid in like an adult super tight setting running around with these adults that's partying. Cause that's how I looked at them. And they asked who I was, and my brother was like, yo, that's my little brother, and blah, blah, blah. And Boosting Bill and G. George was like, yo, I like Shorty. G. George threw me a bag, a garment, and I took off from there. He was like, yo, if you want to go out on a meal or whatever, come on St. John. At that time, I didn't know what the hell meow meant, whatever that was. But I went up there and I went boosting with G. George, Boosting Bill, and the rest of the crew. And that was my history, starting from there.